Hello, this is Ellen with Testimony, Part 3. Alright, where did I leave off? Alright, gave my life to Jesus. I was convinced that I was on the wrong path in New Age, and that Christianity was the way. After I watched Mario's video, Vigilant Vlog, YouTube channel, the New Age movement got me possessed by 30 spirits. Thank you, Mario, for being so genuine. Your tears. It's your tears that convinced me. And I watch a lot of testimonies now. I love watching testimonies. They're all so wonderful. Everybody's just gotta watch them. And when you become a Christian, you'll realize just how much you start loving people. Like before, you don't love anybody. Really, like, you just keep to yourself, maybe. But you love people, but you don't love strangers, really. But when you become a Christian, you start realizing that you love strangers. And testimonies really help you just instantly fall in love with all of God's children. And you see the uniqueness of everybody, His creations, and you see them, their spirit. You don't see their looks, their appearances, their physical appearances. You see them. Okay, so watch testimonies. I knew, I got baptized when I was a baby in the Catholic Church. Not submersion, but my head was sprinkled with water. But when I wanted to truly give my life to Jesus, and I was repenting, and I was going to church, and I was born again, having faith, I knew that I needed to be baptized, and so I signed up. It was another thing, actually. It fell into place with I'm thinking about when I became a member of the church. When I got baptized, I am trying to remember, because I got my husband to do it with me. And at first I was going to do it alone, but just something in me needed to convince him that he needed to do that with me. Or he needed to do it too. So we ended up doing that. I should have the video in this, but I don't. because we have a video. But it happened on January 27th, 2018. We got baptized. And I think that's when I started receiving the spiritual warfare in my dreams that I was talking about in testimony part 1. The part where I talked about, like, I felt the presence in the room of a spirit that hated me. And it was the scariest I've ever had a dream. And it wasn't like a normal dream. It was like I was in the spirit realm. And I was aware of the room that I was sleeping in. And it was so creepy. So those dreams, I had them at least twice, where I was feeling like I was being watched in my sleep, and it was like the spirit hated me. And at first I thought it was like the room, because I was sleeping in a room I don't normally sleep in. It wasn't my bedroom. And it happened twice in the same room. And it was the room that I watched the New Age videos in. It was the computer room. Though we called it the computer room. And no one ever slept in there, but there was a bed, because my son Jensen's young, and like he would sleep in our bed a lot. Like, he slept in his bed rarely. And but that bed was supposed to be for him to sleep in, but he never really did. And that's the room that I would do yoga in. And it was the room that I had kept sage in. And in the New Age, people use sage. They believe that it gets rid of bad spirits if you burn it and spread it around the house. But I still don't know if that's a deception or not. I'm considering it a deception, because what if it's actually bringing the bad spirits into your home instead of getting rid of them? But wow. So I still had I had gotten rid of all the sage that I had, but did I? I was worried that I didn't, because I was throwing away things every day. I was throwing away a lot of things, and I thought, well, what if? Because I remember the sage spilt one time, so I'm like, well, maybe there's still a little bit of crumbs in the room, and that's why the evil spirits are in there. Because it never happened to me in my own bedroom. I mean, there's some things that happened to me in my own bedroom before I became a Christian. Just some strange things, like one time I wake up and like I was wearing some nail polish with a gel. It was like gel nail polish, and I lost one of my toes. I was like, there's no polish on that toe. What happened? And it was the same night as like the comforter was flipped completely on its other side. Like, it's like, how did that happen? Because I remember I made the bed, and I went to bed with the comforter the correct way, and then when I wake up, it's like flipped. It's like, that was strange. But that happened before I was ever like a Christian. And then other things, like I remember I would feel like this press in my back, like, and it felt like I was being shocked, and it would wake me up. That would happen to me a couple times before I ever became a Christian. But after I became a Christian, that's when I had those dreams in that bedroom that, and I found a little bit of sage left that was spilt, like under the table. And I was like, ooh, I gotta get rid of every crumb of this. But when after doing research, watching videos, I found out that a lot of people go through these spiritual warfare dreams when they become a Christian, and they could receive sleep paralysis, like, periodically within their Christian life, which I know is true because I became a Christian a year ago, and I just had a sleep paralysis dream a couple weeks ago. So, yeah, these things are going to happen to you. But the thing, you have good dreams too. God will give you good dreams, or revelation dreams. Like they're more like dreams that you think are from Him. And one of them I want to tell you guys about is when I first became a Christian, I had a dream that I had to give up my son to authorities, and I knew that I had to. But of course, you don't want to give up your son, but you know that you have to. In the dream, I knew that I had to. Like, I had no choice. And I remember saying goodbye to him and hugging him. And I remember him giving him away. And when I woke up, I heard a voice tell me, now you know how I felt when I had to give up my only son. And I took that as, it's like I knew that God gave me that dream to know what He felt like when He had to give up Jesus for us. He knew He had to. He knew He had to. That dream was amazing. And it really hit me because, like, in the past, I always told myself, like, I wanted a second son. Just because if I lost my first, I would have been so destroyed. Like, I wouldn't have had any reason to live. Like, I feared being suicidal. And, because I knew I had been suicidal many times in my life. And I was like, I need to have a second son. Just so I have a backup son to live for. And another message I got from God from that dream was that He didn't have a backup son. that was his only begotten Son. Or Jesus is. But God knew that, that death is okay. That Jesus was going to go straight back to him. And that's how we need to feel. Us Christians. We need to know that death is in God's hands. Like, that we're taken care of when our loved ones die. And unless we belong to Satan. Unless we belong to Satan. We don't have eternal life if we don't accept Jesus. And that's when I get to this part. I became a member of the church on March 15th. And when you become a member of the church, you go through a membership class. And at the end of the membership class, me and my husband were prayed over. Everyone gets up and stands in lines, and all the elders and the pastors there too. The elders, they pray for you, and they put their hands on you. And me and my husband, we got prayed over, and they put their hands on us and prayed. My cat just did that. I got a frisky cat. Whoa, he's really frisky right now. His tail's puffed up. He must see something out there. A squirrel or something. Okay, so they put their hands on us. I think I got it steady. Jeez. And they were praying over us. They were praying in tongues too. At my church, they do that. And we were new, so all I remember is just letting whatever's going to happen, just accepting it all, having faith, and just being glad that we're being prayed for and over, just embracing it. And I was trying to listen to things around me. I didn't want to open my eyes because I felt like that would be disrespectful, for one, because we're supposed to all be in prayer. I didn't know really how to pray yet. I didn't know what that was like. I knew that every second that God could read your mind, because I was proven that when I got my numbers. So I knew that you're being watched every second, that God's reading your mind. He knows your heart every second. So I just had my eyes closed. And I felt this, I don't know if I would say warm, but it was like an aura, I guess, like a very light, wonderful energy. It feels like it surrounds you, and you're just it feels wonderful. It's so hard to describe the feeling. I guess when they say, oh, it's like a dove descending upon you, like a light aura, very peaceful and holy, I guess. I felt this supernatural feeling, but it was very mild, like an aura. There was an aura around me. And I was just soaking it in. I was like, oh, this feels like I feel something. Like, I'm like, do I feel something? And then when it was over, I talked to my husband. Okay, they're frisky. That's just making this video even more interesting. Demons, they're not liking this testimony. They're trying to stop it through the cats. Stop it! I can bring my cat over here. Maybe you can see him. He's really freaking out right now. Just making this video longer. Sorry. Sorry, guys. You can always pause it and watch more. Okay, so when I got in the car with my husband when we were leaving, I was like, I asked him, did you feel something? Because I feel like I totally felt something. And he was like, yeah, I totally felt that. When they put their hands on us, what was that? We felt it. We were just talking, and we were like, just convinced that we felt something. And we didn't really think of anything of it other than that. And we go to bed,